Hello guys, this will show the proper way to make segmented or anything with an extreme cutoff detail. What's the proper way to do it? So what I mean by that is, if I were to start with a plane, one thing you may be tempted to do, guys, one thing you may think is the right way to model something, is you might think, okay, I'm going to go ahead and kind of, I'm going to go ahead and kind of extrude around here, and this will be the right way to model it like this. And then I'm going to go in here and I'm going to kind of work out the shape and kind of move things around. So you may think, okay, maybe this is the best way to model. Let's say you want to make like, especially if making car parts or motorcycle parts, right? Let's say you may think, okay, I need a part like this, so I'll just go ahead and extrude it and do it. Well, when you subdivide this, you're going to run into a problem. And the problem is that in situations like this, you're going to get this kind of a flare out effect. Another example is right here. You can see I made this very low poly, and then symmetry, data channel, open subdiv, turbo smooth. But you can see what's happening here is I'm trying to make this like rounded part here, and I seem to be doing it. But then what happens is that you kind of get this kind of flare out effect. See, like it's not kind of straight here, it's kind of angled here. The reason for this is because of just how topology works. So the better way to model something like this, guys, would be just start off as a single object and then cut away what you need. So for example, I'll go ahead and duplicate this to show you. Alright? So what I would do instead is I would extrude this down here. Right? I'll make this as a single object here. Alright, and I'll kind of get this. I'll go ahead and turn off data channel now. Let me use a little bit of self-flow here. Alright, so you can see I would do this, guys. I would model it as a single continuous object, and then apply several layers of subdivision here, whether you're using open subdiv with presets or whatever you're using. Here I'm just using turbo smooth. At least one, probably two would be better. And now I can go in here and make that detail. Probably, let's go with one, make it simpler here. It depends on the level of complexity here, guys. Now, I guess I'll show later on great level of complexity, right? So I can go in here, guys, and I can, for example, use face constraints, or I can use the drag tool right here. So I'll just use the basic movement. You can see now, guys, I can kind of just conform the vertices to get the shape that I need. And now when I, for example, delete this, let's say I don't want that, we're now going to get a much better effect. As you can see, we no longer get that kind of flare out effect that we do right here. See how we get that like a curve right here? That's because it's a very simple kind of understanding of topology, guys. The topology only does what it can do right here. So like, it doesn't know what kind of curve you want. So it looks at this, when you subdivide it, it gives you this. Because there's an abrupt end of topology at these edges, it doesn't continue, right? It doesn't continue to form a curve. It just stops right there. Another way to make you understand this, hopefully, is let's say you got this right here. All right, and then we have, an extrusion here and an extrusion there. All right, now when I subdivide this, the reason I get a curve here is because we have three polygons. Let's make it simpler, guys. Let's give ourselves two. We have two polygons here, so we get a curve. But what if well, actually, let's make it a little bit more complex, guys. Let's give ourselves a few, right? Okay, 4 faces. And that gives us this. But let's say we delete one of them right here. And in fact, you know what? Let's make it more obvious. Sometimes, guys, in order to show an example, you got to make it a little bit more obvious. So we're going to go ahead and give ourselves a more extreme angle right here. All right, and that gives us this kind of curve right there. But if we delete a single polygon, Right, notice how it doesn't just remove that curve right there, it completely like cuts it off to the point where these edges kind of go back to this place, see? With that face there, they're over here, but now they're way over there. That's a principle to understand, guys. Is that a lot of times to avoid distortions like this, you want to go ahead and model it as a single continuous object, and then you subdivide once or twice, and then you're able to get that better result. If you want even more detail, guys, you'll go with a higher amount of density, like 2. And then you can go in here, guys, and really get some small details happening here. And this is a very good principle to use with car parts, for example. And of course, sometimes, guys, you can just go ahead and just cut as well. I'm just showing different ways of doing things. And now, for example, if I were to detach this, let's say I want this to be a car part. A segmented part. Right now, when I detach this, it's going to match together very well. Obviously, we get some problems here because of the topology, which we need to fix up. But aside from that, which we can fix up, it goes together very well. I mean, you can see that it's pretty much very seamless right here in terms of its continuity. Whereas if we try to do it right here, guys, let's say I took this and I think, okay, now I want a little piece in here, right? So I would select this here and let's say detach that. And I'll just copy these modifiers as well and paste that. You would notice there's a lot less continuity here because we did this on a very kind of low poly situation. And as you can see, it's hard to get the surfaces to kind of align properly here. You would have to do a lot more tweaking, whereas what we should have done if we wanted that kind of continuity is to make this as a single object and then detach what we need it to be. So guys, that's kind of the proper way of doing that. And you also, of course, get this kind of pinching effect, as you can see right here. You see that right there? That's something you can avoid as well. So guys, going back to this example, the way you would make this for real is you would kind of model this as a single object, continuous object. Right, like that. Subdivide this with, let's say, 1 or 2. I'll apply smooth to get a smoothing so I can better see what's happening here. And then, guys, let's say I want that shape right there. Then I can go in here, either cut it out or use the face constraints. So let's say I'll put this here. Right, now make this transparent so I can see exactly what kind of shape I want, right? So we can now kind of compare and contrast, right? This shape versus this one right here. This one right here is, well, obviously, guys, I mean, you could continue to work with this, like you could be more careful, but that's what I'm saying. It would be it's much more difficult to kind of get it to line up properly and to have no defects in it. Whereas with the second method, it's a lot more easier. But I mean, notice you're still gonna get some distortion happening right here. Definitely notice something happening right there and right here. Whereas here, it looks very clean. So guys, that's how you can properly model kind of segmented objects and see objects that would be detached, have seams, or just like more extreme shapes. Like this, for example. Thank you for watching and take care.